I'm calling in the creator to the CEO who crave creating community and cash to create it like a boss. With me, Katrina Julia, as your host, multi-passionate entrepreneur, creator, and CEO who has walked from fear to faith, self-hate to love, corporate to calling, and continues to, with experience in 7+ industries, 7,000 plus creators and startups, 2 creators to Fortune 500 brands, including Google, NBC, Victoria's Secret, and more. If you are ready to create it like never before in faith, wellness, wealth, marketing, business, travel, and more, this is the show for you. If this is your time to have freedom in all forms as you create it like a boss, let's create it.
Welcome back to Diary of a Creator with your creator bestie, Katrina Julia, your favorite corporate girly. 2025 year in review. The end of any day, of any week, of any month brings a space to breathe and to reflect. But closing out a year, that hits differently. There's something sacred about looking back, not for perfection, but for progress, for celebrating the wins, honoring the lessons, and acknowledging the woman or the man you became along the way. As we step into 2026 with intention, I'm grounding myself first in reflection, in refinement, and in vision. And this goes to clearing what didn't serve, creating space for more, creating space for what does and will serve, stepping into a new version of me, and aligning to teachers that are living and embodying the life I desire so that I learn from people that are aligned and in integrity. This is about celebrating the wins, honoring the lessons, and stepping into a new year with intention. So I'm revisiting my 2025 vision, and I did that this year massively with ChatGPT and literally copying and pasting my 2025 vision and then prompting or typing out what worked, what didn't work, and resetting with clarity and rising into what's next. And if you haven't yet listened on the show or read on the blog my 100 ways I use ChatGPT and my AI agents, you definitely want to run, not walk, and check out those episodes and those blogs. So here's to creating, celebrating, and elevating as we walk into a brand new season of possibility together. And let me also say this with a caveat. I am big on not waiting for, a new day, a new week, a new year. I am big on taking action and aligning to create it like a boss now. And I'm a big believer of a day is like 1,000 years. 1,000 years is like a day. Isaiah 55 in scripture, and that time is a construct and it helps us with structure, it helps us with days and regulations. But if you think about it, like right now, I'm recording this at 3:22 p.m. It's 3:20 in Peru. It's 3:22 a.m. in Bali, and not to mention that when you use ChatGPT or other sources, literally you're collapsing time in the practical with things that used to take, say, a week, a month, several months into seconds and minutes. So it literally is showing you how time is a construct. And then also mindset wise, quantum leaping wise, feel free to Google or Chat GPT. There's so many physics teachers, elements that have talked about quantum leaping, wormholes, all kinds of things for years. So I digress. I return. Year in review. With each passing year, I feel more aligned, grounded, and connected to who I truly am. And at the same time, Every day, every week, every month, every year brings its own surprises, lessons, and plot twists. 2025 was no different. This year, I approached my year in review in a completely new way that I created and actually used templates. I did the end of last year on ClickUp and Notion, not only for my own clarity, but for you too. And I created some free templates and free versions. And newsflash, if you are tuning in for the first time, I help you simplify health, wealth, and business so you create a life and business you love, simpler and faster than you ever thought possible. And at the same time, I'm also in progress, so you're not alone. Maybe you're used to learning from teachers, coaches, and guides like me. My most popular series continues to be 75 Tips, Tools, and Tech to Create It. And you can grab that in the link in the bio from the blog in the show notes, and or you can click the Create It Like a Boss link in the show notes and or via my Instagram at Katrina Julia Fit and create it in the preview of my creator school where I give you access to it as well. And trust me, I'm no stranger to learning. I've learned from Lifeway Women, from Transformation Church, Strategic Coach, Brendan Bouchard, Shailene Johnson, Rachel Hollis, Jasmine Starr, Garen Jones, Michael Todd, to name a few. So I am not sharing something that I don't live by myself. And at the same time, my core affirmation, one of my core affirmation guides everything. I create more, massively more than I consume. So this year reflected that more than ever. My vision framework was even simpler, cleaner, more embodied. I stayed rooted in my sacred 7 morning and night routines, my Create 7 and my 7 steps to success. And again, I'm not perfect. I aligned my days to Sacred 7 and my top 3 priorities across literally where the most impact and influence leads me. And typically in this year, that was creator brands, creator retreats, and creator school / content, depending on what I was creating. And then immediately with that or alongside that is scaling. And that means simplifying and scaling. Simplifying to make it clearer, easier, and scaling with things like ChatGPT, with AI agents, with automation, with delegation. And just like every year since 2015, so now consistently 10 years in the making, I've set prayerful time aside to reflect in gratitude, cast vision, and align with my legacy. And this year included deep lessons from slow travel, community, and consistency. And the template that I'm sharing, like I mentioned earlier, is from the 2024 year in review and my vision board in Notion and ClickUp templates. And as one of my favorite scriptures is Proverbs 29:18, as it reminds us, without vision, people perish. So this year, 2025, the word was that I felt was embodied or embodiment. And what I find interesting on every single year that I've allowed a word to speak to me is that always things come up that are the opposite of that word. It's almost like my spirit is being prompted to clear what is the exact opposite or the dark side or the shadow side so that I become more of that word in this year, in this case, embodied or embodiment. And so keep that in mind as I share the goals and the reflections from the beginning of the year. And also keep in mind, this has led me this year, earlier than ever, I received my word for the following year, and it's surrender, which definitely, I'm not going to say it scares me. It excites me. It scares me. It humbles me because if you know anything about me, especially the Katrina 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I was such a control freak. And I was so, control in a way gave me such safety. And so the girl you see today or listen to today, on the podcast, read on the blog, see on social media, the free spirit is night and day who I once was. At the same time, she's a lot like the Katrina that was here at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. So it's interesting how we're returning and remembering back to who we truly are. So This year was a year of alignment, embodiment, and simplification. And this is how it unfolded. I embodied two out of my top three 2025 goals. So, 67% isn't so bad, right? I didn't compete in NPC, National Physique Committee, this year, which I really desired to, but from a alignment, financial standpoint, timing standpoint, it didn't unfold how I desired, but I did work out 5 to 6 days a week more than ever, astronomically over last year, to the tune of over 10,000 minutes more than last year. I track on Peloton. I joined multiple gyms in Bali, Peru, Ecuador, and Peru. And in fact, the gym that I joined now, hashtag not sponsored yet, is Smart Fit, and they have locations all around Latin America, which is perfect and sets me up massively for alignment and consistency and results into 2026. And travel wise, I also moved slower. And that was also designed intentionally to align with stability and community. So I lived in Bali twice this year for about 5 months ish. I was there end of January through end of March. And then I returned April through June. And then I was in Ecuador August through October. And then Peru now, October through January. In Thailand with my parents, which was precious and priceless. And this year I visited 7 countries. Compared to the year before, it was 12. So you can see where there was a lot less movement and longer stays in different countries and more monthly stays. I maintained wellness as a top priority with thousands of minutes and hundreds of workouts across 7 countries. Four, like massively as far as where I stayed for the most part, but I was in 7 this year. I massively expanded personal development and business growth as far as creating 7+ creator agents, automating workflows that saved 25 or created 25 plus hours weekly, simplified and scaled Creator School across Creator School, Creator Templates, Creator Circle. I continued investing in learning through Herbalife, Instagram Summit, B School, Time Genius, Mind Valley, and more. I increased in real life connection across 12 plus in real life events like sober parties, speaking events, Herbalife extravaganza in Dallas, Texas, time with my besties in Texas, Angela and Lindsay, co-working days. I also created creator weeks in Bali and Miami and laid the foundation for 2026. Created deeper alignment habits, including nervous system regulation, time tracking, time multiplying, with tech and tools like breath work, like embodiment, like ChatGPT, slow travel, AI. Speaking of, I traveled slower but more intentionally. So I did travel, like I shared, Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia, USA. Wait, Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, USA, Ecuador, and Peru. I was like, I knew I had 7. There's a typo on my blog. I missed Thailand. Well, I said it earlier though. That is roughly half of the countries I visited last year. So not rushed, not chaotic, not aiming for a goal of, ooh, how many countries or how many places can I visit this year, which has been the case sometimes. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's simply the time for me right now that my soul is calling is slower travel, deeper roots, community, stability. I created, healed, explored, and became more of myself back to the word of embodiment unapologetically. Prayer, healing, EFT, massive ocean days, doing affirmations and EFT in the ocean, focusing on the feeling, jungle days, wellness events, sober parties. Like, if you would have told Katrina 10 years ago that she'd be dancing her ass off at sober parties in Bali at freaking 9 o'clock in the morning or at sunset, she would have thought you were crazy. That's not all. I didn't just travel, countless active adventures, especially in Bali, swimming with turtles, surfing in Peru, swimming with turtles in Peru, scuba diving in Bali, uh, parasailing, so many different adventures. I massively align travels, especially for the end of the year, with Eternal Summer in Peru. And every year brings lessons learned in who I and we get to become. And I felt like I grew so much this year in embodiment. So, what's next? For 2026, faith, deeper prayer, peace, alignment, and calling in kingdom love with surrender. Two, wellness, staying consistent with the 5 to 6 workouts weekly, strength training, and NPC show prep, perhaps in Brazil, perhaps in Miami. Three, community, expanding online and in real life with creator brands. 3+ clients at 7K plus monthly and selling out creator retreats. And aligning this with key strategies, structure, and systems, cash and creation, stabilizing $300+ days, 12K $1,000 plus months, and creator priorities from brands to tech, and then showcasing a continuous slow travel lifestyle across Latin America, USA, and perhaps Africa and Asia with intentional presence. So if you are ready to create your year in review, definitely check out my Notion template, my ClickUp template, and or my creator templates, which you can preview for free and or get the whole bundle on its own, and there's payment plans, and or get all my creator templates included in my creator school. So year in review brings both a celebration and reflection of what was, is, and will be. And this year, not it brought a lot of exponential growth, and at the same time, then there's a lot I'm grateful for. At the same time, it brought incredible challenges for me in the two goals that I didn't hit, especially, well, not so much in the wellness, because I still stayed consistent and continued to elevate in my results there. However, more so in the financial, like not hitting the daily average goals yet, not making the progress that I desired to make in paying off debt yet, not giving money to my family instead of sometimes needing help. All of that created different turmoil, different worthiness, clearing issues, different challenges or opportunities to clear fear, shame, guilt, all of that. Things that align to people pleasing, performance, misalignment, inner child work. And so all of that, stopping to reflect, realize, and rise. So I'm diving deeper into my vision framework and what's coming for 2026. And then I'm feeling pulled this year to take a vision workshop with Danielle Canty, former Boss Babe. And then usually every year on the first, also, I go to a cafe, do my templates, reflect, etc., expand. Sometimes do a video on my vision as well. Typically, definitely a podcast. You'll definitely see that. And then also, Brendan Bouchard's workshop. I've done that consistently for years as well. So leave a review on the show, drop your IG handle and or your website so I can shout you out. And as always, remember, create, transform, and inspire. You are born to.